You're listening to Civic Media. You can tune into any of our live shows on any radio station across the state with the Civic Media app. Find us in your phone's app store and listen anytime, anywhere.
Civic Media News. I'm Terry Bell. Here's what Wisconsin needs to know. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump campaigns in Wisconsin today. He speaks in Waunakee this afternoon and Milwaukee tonight. Republicans have been urging Trump to spend some time in Wisconsin's bluest counties. Democrat Kamala Harris stumps in the Fox Valley on Thursday. Voters in Wausau can use their absentee ballot drop box again. A replacement is in place after Mayor Doug Dinney removed the original one last week. The Marathon County DA says the Portage County Sheriff's Department is looking into whether Dinney broke the law. The people who declare the winners on election night say they plan to be fast, accurate, and transparent. Anna Johnson is Washington bureau chief for the Associated Press. She says her organization is in the business of declaring winners, not projecting them.
The only way we declare races, so whether it's a presidential race or it's, state legislative races, is when we are absolutely certain that there is no way that the trailing candidate can overtake the leading candidate.
Johnson speaking with WISN TV's Up Front. Quick Trip convenience stores will start installing electric vehicle chargers to what the company calls a strategic number of locations throughout the Midwest. Quick Trip isn't saying yet where or how many. The company promises there'll be some of the fastest chargers on the market and can power up as many as 4 vehicles per stand. A state grant program helps people with water contaminated by farm runoff pay for new wells. Tom Van Lowe lives in Marathon County. He says the program helped save him $12,000.
We knew for years that we were drinking contaminated water, so it gave us a lot of peace of mind.
County agents around Wisconsin say they'd like to see the program expanded so more people in need can be eligible. The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources is trying again to change PFAS regulations for drinking water. Last week, the Natural Resources Board approved a request to start the process. Republican lawmakers blocked the DNR's last push for remediation steps. I'm Terry Bell, Civic Media News. Here's what you need to know closer to home.
For WRCE News, I'm Joanne Krulotz. Voters in the Ithaca School District will see a referendum question on the November election ballot in regards to exceeding the revenue limit. Lori Pizer is business manager for the Ithaca School District.
We're going to go up for 1.3 operational referendum for 4 years. Ithaca has not went out for an operational referendum since 2004. And if you look at the neighboring schools, they've had more operational referendums. Like Riverdale has had 2, Richmond Center 3, River Valley 4, and Weston 5 in the same time frame. So I think that shows that Ithaca has been very frugal with their spending.
Informational sessions have been held to help residents understand the referendum question. If you have not been able to attend any of the past sessions and would like to find out more information about the referendum, 2 additional sessions remain. They will be held Wednesday at 5:45 at the Ithaca Community Gym and Sunday morning at 11:30 at the Willow Valley Church Hall. 25 Red Cross volunteers from Wisconsin are part of the Hurricane Helene relief effort in southeastern United States. Their assignments could change at any time. In fact, Red Cross volunteers have to be on standby in case they're needed more somewhere else. 1,400 volunteers from around the country are part of the effort. Donations for flood victims in North Carolina and Tennessee following Hurricane Helene are being accepted at Driftless Outdoors on Highway 80 North. Basic needs are bottled water and canned food, along with can openers if donating canned food. Organizers are planning to leave with a semi-load of donations by Friday. Please have your donations dropped off by Thursday evening at 5. For more information, call 608-475-1219. While gas prices rose across the state by 5 cents during the last week, officials at Gas Buddy say Hurricane Helene should not broadly impact fuel production. Wisconsin Department of Health Services is encouraging Wisconsinites to get vaccinated against respiratory illnesses this fall. An updated COVID-19 and a new annual flu vaccine are now available to protect against COVID-19 and flu strains circulating this season. RSV vaccines are also available for people who are eligible. An RSV antibody to protect infants from severe illness is available as of today. Currently in Wisconsin, COVID-19 activity is elevated statewide, especially in children younger than 5 years old and adults over the age of 65. Flu and RSV activity is low, but levels are expected to increase. DHS recommends getting a seasonal vaccine for flu, COVID-19, and RSV. The flu vaccine and the COVID-19 vaccine are recommended for everyone 6 months and older. And a single dose of RSV vaccine is recommended for people who are age 60 or older who have not already received an RSV vaccine. Many people wish to arrange their affairs to live well in their later years and ensure that their end-of-life plans follow their wishes. Still, it's something that many people find challenging. Planning Ahead is a new online class from UW-Madison Division of Extension. In 1-hour online classes, Extension educators guide participants through examining healthcare wishes, financial responsibilities, legal requirements and documentation, distribution of personal property, end-of-life decisions, dealing with grief, and the emotional ramifications. Classes will be held Wednesday evenings, October 2nd through November 13th, from 5:30 to 7 at the Lancaster City Hall Senior Center. Grant County residents are invited to join Planning Ahead, a free in-person course facilitated by Beverly Dahl, Grant County Human Development and Relationship Educator, UW-Madison Division of Extension. Registration is available online or by calling Bev Dahl at 608-723-2125. And that's what you need to know. I'm Joanne Krulotz.
It's time for the MLB postseason. Hi, I'm Jimmy Kuska with sports, filling in for Mike Clemens. The Brewers will play the Mets today to open up the best-of-3 wildcard round. Milwaukee enters as the NL Central champion and third seed in the NL. Manager Pat Murphy said the Brewers are young but ready for the postseason.
It's about getting them ready. We're going to face one of the best teams in baseball, whoever it is, with a lot of firepower, with a guy on the mound that's good. You know, you can say, well, he only had 4 days, or we only had 3 days. This time of year, you can throw all that stuff out the window. It's about being ready to play, and we're going to play against somebody good. So, buckle your chin strap and let's roll.
First pitch is after 4:30 p.m. The Green Bay Packers will try to bounce back this week as they play the LA Rams on Sunday. Coach Matt LaFleur said Sunday that the Packers had a lot to clean up after the 31-29 loss to the Minnesota Vikings in Week 4.
You got to be focused in terms of, and very intentional about what you're trying to get accomplished. When you look at it, we've had 2 tight games that we've lost. And we got to make sure that we don't put ourselves in those positions where they do cost you.
Kickoff this week against the Rams is after 3 p.m. on Sunday. And Wisconsin football will play in back-to-back 11 a.m. games the next 2 weeks. They host Purdue this Saturday and play at Rutgers next week. Filling in for Mike Clemens, I'm Jimmy Kuska with Civic Media Sports.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. Music legend Chris Christopherson passed away over the weekend at the age of 88. Christopherson is a 3-time Grammy and Golden Globe winner and was a respected actor as well. He was the star of the original A Star is Born in 1976, playing opposite Barbra Streisand. Chris Christopherson was also part of an all-star band called the Highwaymen with Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash, and Waylon Jennings. Christopherson received a Rhodes Scholarship in Literature, but soon after joined the U.S. Army, where he achieved the rank of captain and flew helicopters. Chris Christopherson was a prolific activist advocating for farmers' rights, workers' rights, and immigrant rights. He famously supported Sinead O'Connor during a Bob Dylan tribute concert, shortly after she ripped up a picture of the Pope on Saturday Night Live in an effort to call attention to child abuse within the Catholic Church. Christopherson hugged her on stage and called her courageous. Christopherson died in Hawaii surrounded by his family, but a cause of death was not given. He was a true American original. In Wow Were We Ever Wrong news, many of the writers on Saturday Night Live did not think Will Ferrell was funny when he first joined the show. Ferrell recalls the early days in the new Netflix documentary Will and Harper, in which Ferrell and former Saturday Night Live writer Harper Steele take a cross-country road trip. Steele started on the show the same time Ferrell did and said the rest of the cast and writers thought Ferrell was a dud, but she just knew he wasn't. Will Ferrell got the last laugh as he went on to be an SNL favorite and star in movies like Elf and Anchorman. About every 10 years or so, Barry Williams shows up in the news and spills the tea about his fellow Brady Bunch cast members. A few years ago, he talked about his crush on his TV mom, Florence Henderson, and their innocent kiss. And now Williams is saying all the cast members hooked up. Williams, who played Greg Brady, says he hooked up with Marcia, the actors who played Peter and Jan dated, and even Bobby and Cindy dated. Relax, folks. They were step-siblings and actors. Well, if you're like me, you like your robots wild. And so do most people who went to the movies last weekend. The Wild Robot found itself atop the weekend box office, topping $36 million at the gate. The Wild Robot tells the story of Roz, which is short for something robotic. Roz ends up on a desert island and befriends a goose. A for originality, if nothing else. Coming in second in its 4th week of release was Beetlejuice, with over $16 million at the gate. Transformers 1, an animated prequel of the Transformers franchise, came in 3rd place with $9 million. The Indian film Devara, part
Part 1 sort of flew under the radar, but still came in 4th place, and the thriller Speak No Evil landed in 5th place with a little over $4 million. This week's box office dud was Francis Ford Coppola's passion project, Megalopolis, which managed just $4 million total on almost 2,000 screens. I think he's got enough street cred that his legacy will remain intact. For more showbiz fun, tune in to Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
It is going to be quite a bit cooler today, mostly sunny with a high in the low to mid-60s this afternoon. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a low in the upper 30s to low 40s. Tomorrow, breezy, partly cloudy with a high in the upper 60s to low 70s. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Outside now, it's 55.
The national news cycle never stops, but it can be hard to find news about your local community. Civic Media is dedicated to providing quality local and state news coverage across Wisconsin. With the Civic Media app, you can get notifications about local stories that matter to you and your community. Find the free Civic Media app in your phone's app store and choose notifications from the menu to tell us what kind of news you want to hear about.